I'm Jonathan Brendefur from DMTI, and I'm going to go over division today. And we're going to start with a context, a story problem. I have run 3 miles so far. I am running 2-mile intervals. How many intervals have I completed? So we're going to start the division. So if we're thinking about the expression, we are going to have 3 divided by 2 equals some amount. So here we have the dividend and our divisor. Now we're going to figure out the amount of the quotient. So the dividend is really the amount that we're starting with. And so right now I'm going to focus on the quantity. So I'm going to use a bar model to represent that. Bar model or a number line are really good visual models to get a sense of the concept that we're working on. So here, this is my 3 miles that I've run so far. 1, I'm going to partition that. It's one of our key words, partition, split evenly. Then the question though is, with the divisor here too, one way of looking at a divisor, there's another video you can watch to talk about there's 2 different ways of looking at division, both measurement and partitive. And in this case, when we're just looking at it here, I'm looking at it as a measurement. I'm measuring out 2-mile intervals. So here, my interval is 2 miles. So I'm going to use a bracket here. That is 1 interval. So these are that's miles. This is my intervals here. So if you look at this, then another way of how many am I going to scoop out? You can also think of it that way. I'm scooping out the 2 miles here. I've scooped out 1 for sure. And if I was to do another interval, that's 2 miles. That would be all the way over here to where 4 is. That means, where am I here? I'm halfway, so I am 1.5 intervals. That would have been 2 over here. So 3 divided by 2 is going to equal 1.5. So I have 1.5 intervals. So the difficult part of division is we are looking at 2, when we say the whole, we're looking at 2 relatives. We're looking at here is 1 and here's 1, referring to 1 mile. This one's referring to 1 interval. That's one of the reasons why division is so difficult. But a key idea here is we say, oh, 3 divided by 2. So you can also see here, here's 3 partitioned into 2 sections, and you see that amount there. You can see where that is 3 halves there. But another way of looking at when we talk about division, it's also related to multiplication. It's also the inverse relationship. So sometimes we'll say, oh, that's also 3 times 1/2. Well, here, in this case, now we're referring to the intervals. So here's my 1/2 of an interval, 2 halves of the interval, and 3.5 intervals, 3 halves intervals, or 1.5. So you can see where that the bar model or number line really give a good sense of what is division conceptually, visually, which then helps solve a lot of problems later when we're just solving expressions with very difficult numbers. So hopefully that gives you an understanding.